The show you are about to listen to is intended for mature audience only. There will be things said that may not be appropriate for younger audience and may offend you. We at Whatever Talk would like to apologize in advance. But really, get over it.
Mahoro do, folks. That is how you say hello from the people of Shona over in Zimbabwe. I think I'm pronouncing it right. So, people of Zimbabwe, do not come after me my way.
We talking about whatever that's on your mind. Speak your mind, don't be shy. This is your time to shine.
Welcome to Whatever Talk, the show where we talk about whatever it is that we may be talking about at the time.
And this Mahoro?
It's Mahoro.
Okay.
I'm quite sure you don't pronounce the M, but me, comically, I like pronouncing silent letters and words because I always stated that was one of the dumbest things we were ever taught in school.
Like Camille?
Yeah, like Camille. If the letter don't make a sound, don't put it there because it confuses all of us trying to be smart when we doing spelling bees.
It's off the other way.
That too. That too.
Why is this here?
Does not make no sense why there's an O in people. Therefore, I'm pronouncing it P.O. play.
You know what? I can go with that. We should make a whole rap record called P.O. Pay.
The P.O. play of planet Earth just,
yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
All we need is a nice beat.
Yep. And as you hear it is my guest, Ann.
Hey!
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right. You sound really amped up right now.
I actually really am. I've had all my B12 shot, my little B12 drops today. I am ready to go.
Oh, well, awesome. Whatever talks lights that. Kev is not here with us on this particular episode. He may join us later, but hey, it's none of your business what he's doing. Let's get started with making fun of reality.
All right, let's go.
First, hey, you more enthusiastic than I am, and it's my show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go sit down.
No, hey, I'm just making fun. I'm
gonna go sit in the corner.
Just bring the microphone with you to the corner. That's all I'm saying.
All right, over here we go. We scooting over. You hear it? We moving.
Before I really kickstart the show, I would like to give thanks to some other podcasts that I have been a guest on and representing for Whatever Talk, getting around other than talking with people who play video games and watch anime like myself.
Woo.
You know, us anime
circulate.
Yes, us animators, and I would like to assume other video gamers besides myself like to talk about other things.
Mm-hmm. Just a few things.
Yes. So I want to give thanks to Domestic Debates podcast, the sister show, long-winded and gifted self-evaluation regardless. And with this Thanksgiving of thanks that I'm giving, I also would like to give thanks to people who have come on my show, Whatever Talk.
Yay!
To disperse some conversation. Starting off with the owner of Boost, Booze, and BBQ, also does a podcast called Pardon My Fork. And I do not know how to pronounce his name, his last name, Imhoff, IMHOF. One of the best conversations I ever had in my life. We had disagreement in a few things, and we kept the conversation flow moving without missing the beat. Nobody got mad at the other person's disagreement. We actually discussed the disagreement. We didn't ponder on it, but the thing about it was we showed a new school form of conversation, I would like to say, because you can disagree probably the whole entire subject, but nobody has to be bleeding afterwards.
It's called agree to disagree. Nobody has to be mad. You just don't agree. That's okay.
It's okay. You can't be mad because there's 7 billion plus people on the planet, and out of all those 7 billion plus people, one thinks something different. Come on now. I have some more thanks for being a guest on Whatever Talk. The Redneck Review. That was a fun bunch of people.
All right, come on with it.
That was awesome. No, it was actually one. But he does have a partner. I did listen to a couple of their shows, and yeah, those guys aren't serious about anything, and I like it.
I like it.
Yeah. Rochelle, give thanks to you. She and her sister does Black Impact Show.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And I want to give thanks to some nobodies. I am not being mean. That is their name. Some nobodies. And I like the name as well. And I want to give thanks to Miss Ann for making an appearance on this show here. And I will give you the floor to say what it is that you do before we continue with the rest of the show.
Okay. My name is Ann Talley. I'm a Detroit resident. I'm a mother and a grandmother. But most of all, I am the author of the book, 30 Days to Live, which yours truly, Don, did the cover for me. A lot of people don't know that. This man right here did my cover. Come on. Clap for yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So I did 30 Days to Live. That book has been out for 2 years, almost 3 years. It's available on Amazon. It's a book pretty much telling you, your power is within yourself. A lot of times, especially us in our community, we start believing everything that the outside world tells us, and we forget how powerful we really are. So this is a book that'll help you along the way. So going on to Amazon or authorhouse.com. It's called 30 Days to Live by Antoinette Talley. I'm also the owner and CEO of Vision Accomplished, where our whole purpose is to make sure that your vision is accomplished. You can reach us at Vision Accomplished 313 at yahoo.com. We're also available by phone, 586-806-9092. We're just wanting to see people's vision come accomplished. Because in this day and time, we got a bunch of dreamers and ain't nobody moving. When clearly everything that we need in the earth to get our dreams accomplished is right there. So other than that, that's just me. I'm happy to be here. I get to talk to my friend. Ow! And I'm looking forward to a great show. I have had all of my B12 drops today and my energy tablets, so I am like on 10 and ready to go.
Yeah. Might want to just take a small, just like a drop of Ritalin, just a drop. Nah.
No. So I can be up for the rest of the night? No.
I'm just joking. That's awesome of all the things that you're doing. The book. Yeah, I looked on the back of the book today, and I didn't realize my name was on the back of there. Awesome, sweet.
Yeah, I gave you full credit.
Yeah.
It also has a Facebook page, 30 Days to Live. There is Instagram and Twitter, which is Vision Accomplished 313. But Facebook has the promotion. Up until recently, I didn't share a lot of things here in the U.S. A lot of my advertisements that I did was outside of the world. So one day I'll screenshot to you all over the world in India and in Russia and in Africa, some of the likes and the responses from just the book covers. So you've not just been seen here, buddy. You've been seen all over.
Oh, yeah. I got a nice small audience in Ireland. I don't know what it is about us that they digging, but hey, they digging us.
Hey, Ireland, that's cool. They've got sea moss. Can you get a hookup?
But awesome. I have some more stupid phrases that I would like to lay down here that I deem kind of stupid. Now, I must say this too. Just like the stupid lyrics that I have occasionally on the show, not all stupid phrases are stupid. It just read or said out loud just seems kind of stupid. That's all.
Okay.
But
a little special, a little touch.
Yeah. So here's a stupid phrase. At the end of the day, it's not per se stupid. This one I am taking personal stabs at because I have literally heard this mud like 90 times in one conversation from this one person.
Lord.
That was talking like, but see, every type of question was asked, the person just kept saying, see, at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah? So what about, so at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God, at the end of the day, man, go to bed, Dang.
That's the bridge though. That's the bridge. At the end of the day, it takes the place of see what had happened was.
No, just answer the question. Don't put in no phrases. Just answers.
They don't have an answer yet. That's at the end of the day is the bridge while they think about the answer. And they hope you wait till the end of the day and don't ask them no more.
Oh, shoot. At the end of the day, man, I was gone a long time ago. You didn't say this.
You sitting there counting. You know how you had the numbers in your head? Like 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
You done said it 30 times.
Count Dracula over in this mud. Like, this guy is... Man, at the end of the day, he say this one more time.
I'm going to scream and choke you. You ever seen that movie, Tower of Terror? I think it's called Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy of Terror. It sounds familiar.
Well, anyway, there's a little monster in there that comes out with this little pick, and he go chasing this woman. Is that how you felt when he kept saying at the end of the day? Like you just wanted to go, ah! And go chase him?
I actually wanted to cut it off, but I'm like, man, like I really liked the show I was listening to. So I didn't want to just cut it off, but I wanted to skip it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I may skip too far. But yeah, I was really, what he was saying was some important stuff because it was a cop who got fired for speaking out on bad cops.
Okay.
But, you know, so I wanted to hear what he had to say. But at the end of the day, I was tired of hearing him say at the end of the day.
Bless his little cotton socks.
So, yeah, here's another one. One size fits all.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I'm about to say this one. I say gets a gold star for stupid sayings because
it's a lie. As a matter of fact, I take that saying personally. Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say, it's people bigger than me, it's people smaller than me. You got people that's taller than me. You got people that's shorter than me. You got people with much bigger heads than me, much smaller heads than me. So at the end of the day, no, it doesn't.
At the end of the day, you saw it in half because you tried some one size fits all pants.
Exactly. So one size does not fit all. So take that off the tag, please.
Please save us from ourselves. You got some folks out here right now. It's a one size fits all, and the pole material is screaming.
The material is screaming.
It's just crying. It's like I ain't do nothing to nobody. Why you doing this to me? I can't take it no more.
First of all, for you to actually have a size on the one size fits all negates that whole thing anyway.
It should say one size fits them.
I guess. But
because it don't fit me.
Yeah, but I've seen this saying usually come in fitted caps, fitted hats, but they got different sizes of the one size fits all. So how does one size fit all when you have different sizes of the product that says one size fit all? That doesn't make sense.
So it should say one size fit you, or this size ain't yours.
I was just about to say this sounds much better. This size fits you.
Yeah.
This size fits you, not one size.
We should make a whole clothing line called "This Size Fits You."
Hey,
it's sitting next to a one size fits all store.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. I like that. Right there. Yep.
On the other side of to be continued.
Yeah, I like that. So that's all for the stupid phrases for this particular episode. Let's move on to I am tired of hearing people, black people on top of that, say be peaceful. This irked me because it's kind of like I get what they're saying, but at this point of time, I feel like we've been peaceful for so long, so it's time to like skip that being peaceful stuff. Being peaceful don't work with people who never experience peace. They only know violence. They only know how to reciprocate your peace with violence.
When people say be peaceful, I kind of have some mixed feelings on this, because here's the thing, and this is how I feel, and it don't matter one way or the other. don't tear up your own stuff.
Ooh.
Because at the end of the day, if you break up all the dishes in your house, you ain't got no dishes. It ain't affecting the people that's affecting you. You the one sitting there with no dishes. Now you got to drive to their community to go get a loaf of bread because you done burned down your own store. I got a problem with that. So I think when we say be peaceful, I think, and it's just for me, it's probably the people saying, could you not burn up the stuff because I need to go to the store for a loaf of bread and I don't want to have to drive 2 hours. I understand the feeling of we need to do something, but the thing that's missing in our doing something is strategy. We are messing up the chessboard because we on our own side fighting instead of going across the line.
Hey, you're 100% right. I feel you the exact same way. Like I stated before, I don't advocate protesting and rioting, but I most definitely understand protesting and rioting.
Mm-hmm.
To add more to that, I most definitely understand rioting because rioting is, like it's been said, it is the action of not being heard. We already was being peaceful. Since the peace wasn't working for people who don't understand peace, now it's time to go upside the head.
But we bust our own stuff in the head.
But that's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say on your and I said that if you're going to riot, yeah, what's the point of rioting down the street? Like go
you
to
talking
where
to each other.
Yeah, go to where they stay at. Go to where they stay at and cause riot. Because guess what? In order to defeat the enemy, you have to know thy enemy. And what does thy enemy do? They most definitely come to you and cause fires with crosses on your lawn. They come to you and kill you. They come to you and they leave their domain to cause havoc outside of their domain. They don't stay in their domain causing this bull crap.
This is my saying that I've always taught my children, and I teach different individuals, and I often share with people. Life is a chess game. You must know your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is, in any war, in any country, in any dispensation of time, before they go to war, they sit back, they watch the enemy, just even in a football game. You study the other team's play. You make a strategized move. You don't just go out there and be like, "Wah!" Because you look crazy and you don't get nothing accomplished.
Yep.
Strategize. You have to know where the weak parts are. You have to know what's an effective strike versus what is not. And you, first of all, you got to know who the enemy is. I watch people protest in areas that have no issues. Why are you there?
That's what I just got for to say.
Why are you there? Why are you protesting here? You don't have a problem here. You're making a problem, but this is not your problem. The problem is over there where it's been nationally recognized that this is clearly where the police are racist against you. You don't have no problems here. Why are you here?
And guess what they did? And I'm talking about the riots and stuff that went down here in Detroit. They came from Grand Rapids, Flint, other parts in Michigan. They didn't do that junk in Grand Rapids because they didn't want that junk in Grand Rapids. They didn't do that junk over in Flint because they didn't want that in Flint. They all Saginaw, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Dearborn, all of them came to they left their domain to cause havoc here
and tear up.
Stay at. And what do? You join
Go
them.
along with it.
You join them. You know what I say? People don't want change. You black people, you don't want change. You white people, most definitely don't want change. But focusing on the black people right now, you don't want change. You don't. This is why I feel you don't want change. Because you do things like, on this day, we ain't go buy nothing from the white people. We could just gonna do black-owned stuff. But on this day, skip this day, Do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait until this time next year. Do it now.
Do it now.
And continue to do it the days to come. Don't just
I put a
do
post up the other day on my page, and I talked about how money is your power. Your money and your numbers are your power. When somebody tells you or shows you who they are, you believe. So when you have companies that clearly support an idea that's against you, that clearly are not for you, and that's even if you go into the store and they following you around the store and watching you in the store. Okay, you're not for me. So guess what? I'm not going to give you my money. I had an incident with the meat market right there on 6 Mile and Schaefer. Used to be another store, but then it turned into something else. And I went in there just before the 4th of July. And as I walked up, I witnessed I assume one of the owners of either Arab or Chaldean. I'm not very good at telling them apart, so I'm not going to say which one he is.
Hey, that's all right. White
Standing
people think we
outside.
all think alike, look alike anyway.
Standing outside talking to his chocolate employees like dogs. And to the degree of where he was so degrading to them, I'm standing there watching like, when you gonna hit him? But I went in the store. The store to me was chaotic, couldn't get no help. They're supposed to have, I guess, sales tickets on the wall. Because I asked, are there any sales on this? Because I don't frequent this store. I don't. And so it was me and my son, and I asked the older gentleman that was there. He said, okay, baby, I'll find you one. Just give me a minute. Well, after about 10 minutes, I'm like, clearly this older gentleman has forgotten. I know he has, because it's chaotic in here. Went over to the meat market, all the people behind the meat market, everybody using foul language, whatever. And I'm like, gee, really? This is what we do? Okay, fine. The nice one gentleman was nice enough, black guy, to help me. Tall gentleman behind the counter. He tried to help me. So the guy never did come back with. So I went out to the register and I asked the gentleman. I said, the Arab, that's the same guy who was outside talking to the other black guy like he wasn't nothing, like his life didn't even exist. And I went out there and I asked him, I said, do you have any, buying? And anybody that knows me, I'm polite, I'm professional all the time, except when I'm in my own zone. But anyway, I asked him, I said, excuse me, do you have the sales papers? Well, it's up there on the wall, ain't it? No, sir, it is not. Do you know where I can find some more, please? I don't know. What am I supposed to know? Go look. All right. So now I got to make a decision because I'm looking at my son who got fire in his eyes and he's ready to get. Okay. All right. So, he was real nasty, real slick, whatever. And the thing, it didn't bother me, his tone, because I'm not giving you my money now because I've already decided. Mm-hmm. But it bothered me, all of my black brothers and sisters standing in the line watching him talk to me like this. So anyway, now at that day, I'm prepared to pay $300 in cash for whatever I'm buying. I'm ready to pay it. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I said, no, thank you. You have a great day. I took it back, all that stuff. I put it back. I gave the meat back to the man and I walked out. And on my way out, he said, well, what you need? What can I get you? Nothing at all, dear. You have an amazing day. And I walked out the door. I'm never going back. I'm taking my money somewhere where they respect me. So if we as a people, if everybody in that line had been just as offended and took all their money and left all that stuff on the counter, he would have learned at that moment, you don't talk to people like that.
Mm-hmm. But we ain't gonna get it together.
That ain't what we do.
We're not gonna get it together.
If we would take our money as seriously as they take our money. So when somebody shows us that they're not for us, then we just stop spending our money with them. A lot of things would change, but you have people taking our money out of a system for one day doesn't matter. Because if you take $1 out today, you're going to spend $4 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work. What's going to have to happen is a consistent, what is it? I think it takes 6 months to shut down a business. Let's say for 6 months, we stop shopping at one particular store as a community and never spend another dime. By month number 3, they're going to change their tune. By month number 4, everything's going on sale. By 5 or 6, they gone. And now, even though all they're going to do is take that LLC and disband it and turn it to another LLC, which is a trick that they know how to do.
Yep.
All they're going to do is switch LLCs, change the name of the business, and put the kid's name on it instead of the owner that it was, and say it's under new management and open it up again. But they got the message.
But yeah,
But do
hopefully
we
they
do
come
this?
with a different attitude with the message.
And they will, because they won't let Uncle Bobby and Juju come out anymore. They're going to say, no, you can't hang out with the customers. You stay back there.
Yeah,
But if we don't,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
if we don't ever embrace the power that we have with our money, nothing will ever change.
And it's sad to say, it ain't gonna never happen. No time. I don't think it's gonna happen in my grandkids' generation. I don't think it's gonna happen in my great grandkids times 3 generation, because people, black people, we don't know how to play with each other. We don't get along with each other. We are the only nationality that has an issue with one another. Everybody else got an issue with one another, but they get along to make the money. We can't even get along to play at a park. You know,
we definitely have an issue in the collaboration department.
Yeah. So yes, what the heck is one day? Like, you don't want change. One day is not going to do anything. Why? Because you're going to go right back to Tommy Hill and them later on. And matter of fact, not later on, in about 12 hours, you're going to, soon as that 12
I got one better for you. During this, pandemic, as they're calling it, you have had so many people start their own business and have viable, very sensible and quality products that are being churned out. And we are not supporting them because we would rather take our money out of the community.
Yeah, but as far as what we talking about here, as far as money-wise, because you're right. First of all, people don't understand that. Like, power equals money. Money equals power. That does not equals respect. You get the the money, power, and then the respect comes later. But that's
we're not a song.
Yeah, and it all falls in that order. Well, maybe respect, if you are a respectable person and you have a name for yourself already, maybe that respect can boost itself up in the middle somewhere, or maybe even come first. But power and money are one and the same. You're not having one without the other. So come on, people. It's not just the money issue here. I want to expand this to all aspects of black. This basketball issue, this walkout or whatever it is they chose not to do for one day. What the heck is one day, man? You are a sport player for one. This is how I see it in my eyes. You're a sport player. You can go to Joe Dumars and play some ball. You can go down to the park and play some ball. You got money in your account, or at least I feel like you should have money in your account to where your interest is live-offable. So you ain't have to worry about your freaking NBA or professional sport player money. Your money that you already accumulated, if you were smart, should sustain you for the rest of your life. So this not playing ball for today, wow, that proves something. You still going to make the man money the next day. That's bull crap in my opinion. If you're going to walk out and protest this man's death, if you're going to walk out and protest anything considering black agenda, then do it and stay that way until the change happens. You can make that happen, especially you sport people. They talking about, okay, I do agree that if you let sports and stuff be a distraction, then yeah, you yourself is dyslexic yourself, I guess. I don't know, but if that's a distraction, then you're choosing to let that be a distraction. But at the same time, you are the sport player. Walking out for one day for a black agenda and then coming back 2 days later, not everything is still the same. In fact, in your absence, about 5 more blacks got killed. But then you come back and play ball. You need to stay out until the actual change happens when they put these people in prison, not just okay, you're fired. No, skip fired. They need to be in prison. I just came across some information. I didn't read the article yet, but I just came across some information about the cops in Floyd's case. Charges got dropped. No surprise. What?
Not at all.
You think about it. What is a surprise is that, what's also not a surprise is that you people are still out here worrying about who playing ball. Even you ball players are still worrying about getting back on the court, on the field. Again, you don't want change. Because if you wanted change, you would actually make the change happen. Because like I always stated, I could be totally wrong on this, but it is more of us than it is the government. And I ain't talking about just black people when I say us. I mean us as in the people who the government is supposed to be protecting. It's more of us than it is them. I'm not saying take over this mud, but I'm saying we can make them feel the pressure.
Okay, so, all right. Okay, so as far as the ball players, there's the cupcake and then there's the icing. And the icing on the cake is the good stuff. That's the stuff you see before you see the cupcake. Sometimes people do things because they want to look like they're involved.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people do things
Perpetrators.
Because I'm not going to give up my lifestyle, but I'll at least come out here in front so that you know that I kind of believe in what you're saying. Everybody is not protesting material. And I can say this, and this is why, because I've been on a picket line. I've been on the forefront. So I'm not talking about something, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I've picketed the federal building. So, and they don't play. They come out with their gear on.
Because they don't know peace. That's what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, right.
They don't understand peace. They understand violence.
But everybody, and I'll say this, everybody ain't equipped for that. I didn't know that I was equipped for that until I had to do it. So for some people, it's okay. I'm I don't want to say scared, but I'm accustomed to this lifestyle, and I'm not exactly ready to give it up. But what I will do is I'll put this sign on the door out here and say, "Hey, I support you." Everybody has their level of support, just like a chessboard. The rook go out there already, but the nicest stuff kind of lag in the back. Like, wait a minute, player, we'll come out when we need to, but for right now, we ain't.
How many roots coming back bloody, and how many roots coming back at all?
Right. they ain't got no arms, no that. You notice the roots ain't got no arms or nothing. But that's a whole nother story for a different occasion. But some people, I think, are just, and I tell my children, you have to categorize people. So some people are the
Wait a minute, hold on, pause. Are you saying you telling your kids to judge people?
No, I'm telling you, put them in the box where they belong.
I'm just joking, but hey,
I know, but you got to categorize people.
You have to judge.
So
you judging
in every game, you got your cheerleaders. You got which a lot of these people are. They're the cheerleaders. They go out first like, "Hey, who we can do it? Yeah, who we can do it." Then you got your mascot that comes out and go like, "Yeah, I stand for what I believe in. Yeah, I'm out here." And then you got the people that you got your coaches who like, "Yes, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it." But then you got the people who play in the game. But see, then you got your first quarter people, your second quarter people, your third quarter people, and then you got your fourth quarter people who are pretty much your Hail Mary people who you're trying to get to save the last of the game, and they are all bets off. So when you categorize your people, you got your people, yep, like they did. They took one day off. Those are your cheerleaders. All right, fellas, we can do it. I believe in what you're saying, and we're going to make a change. Woo! And then you got your people who come out, and your mascots who come out and go, "Heck no, we won't go." And then you got your people, your coaches who come out, your dignitaries, your people who come stand at the mic and talk to you and say, "This is what we're going to do." And then they get on out the way. And then you got your people who actually play the game. You got your first quarter who come out all aggressive because they've been sitting on the bench. They tired. They ain't tired. They got all the energy. And they come out and they pick it all night long, tear up stuff, act all kind of way. And then you got your people who in the second quarter like, all right, we're going to lay back. We're going to fall back. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stay ahead of the game. We're going to win. This is the play that we got to do. We're going to do it. Then you got your break where everything kind of lulled down, seemed quiet. Then you got your third quarter. We're like, oh, shoot, we ain't where we're supposed to be. Hey, y'all, we need to shoot a move. Then you got your last quarter people to come in. They've been sitting on the bench. They've been rested. They had all the Gatorade, and they don't give a darn what you saying. And all they come to do is win. So you got to categorize your people. So if the cheerleaders want to go out there and cheer before the game, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Cheer on. Pretty skirt, glitter, whatever you got, baby. But by the time we get to the last quarter, move. Get out the way. We don't have time. Move it. I think at this stage, we have to recognize people for what part they're supposed to play. The problem is you got the cheerleaders trying to be at the fourth quarter, and they don't fit there.
I like your analogy. That's a dope analogy. I like it, and it does make sense. It fits. It fits the whole sport of riot / protesting to the T. I like it. Like you said, we all got our positions, and I feel like my position is what I'm doing now. But I'm not opposed to going out there. Like, put it like this. Put it on in a nutshell. I'm not about to go out there and protest nothing. I'm not about to go out there and riot anything. If the war come to my doorstep, I'm going to defend my doorstep and my family. That's what I'm going to do. If I'm out and about doing my job or whatever, and a war just happened to come to me, I ain't trying to do this whole pride thing. I know when to retreat. That being said, I don't mind doing any of that stuff. I'm not one to just be out here just talking the stuff that I'm talking and won't do anything. That's not me. Me and my wife was talking. I'm not about to go out there and riot and protest and fight for niggas. Black people, yeah, but niggas, no. I'm not about to get killed over some niggas. I'll fight and probably get my face bashed in a little bit for some black people that's doing the right thing. That's if the thing come my way. But I'm not about to go out there and have my life taken because it's like it ain't got nothing to do with fear on my end. Only thing I do fear is that I may not come back to my household. That's the only thing I do fear. But as far as standing up and fighting for what you believe in, I'm all for it. Me personally, I don't see. I'm quite sure there's something in it, but I don't see the use of protesting. Through my research, there's been more change involved when it came to rioting. And I only say, and like I say, that goes back to me stating that they don't understand peace. Throughout history, they never experienced peace. So how can they combat peace with peace? They don't know what that is. They looking at us like, look at these people. They ain't got nothing to fight with. We got everything. That's how I see that. That's how I feel they see things.
My mother always taught me, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And it's also, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about strategy. It's also in how you present yourself. One thing that I can say that I know that picketing and protesting brings about is it pushes the hand for a conversation.
They don't want to talk. They ain't trying to talk. That's why people.
No, they will. If they got enough people on their porch, they talk. They're ready to talk. They're ready to talk.
After they lighten the load with a couple of gunshots, then they may say
no. Because one of the things that I do know government doesn't like is bad publicity. They don't want to be on the news as horrible human beings because they still.
But they still though, as horrible.
I know, but they still want to try to have an inkling or some degree of we're for the people.
Well, they're doing a
Now,
terrible job at showing it because they have,
yeah,
throughout my 36 years of living, I ain't never seen the government out for the people.
but you got to remember, you got to, and see, there's degrees to this thing.
Yeah.
So what does Shrek say? It's like an onion. It's got a whole bunch of layers. So, you know, you let me back up. One thing that
I
I
get what
say,
you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I do agree. It's just that I guess
and this is how I try to look at it.
I
If
mean
you in
I
the
say
house, right, and
I
your
say that
neighbor don't
all
like how you
wrong.
cut your grass,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a whole bunch of people to show up because your neighbor done gathered up people to sound like how he cut his grass, and your neighbor just show up on your porch and just start screaming and acting a fool and throwing stuff and just acting all ugly, your first reaction is gonna be what?
My
I'm
first
going out here
reaction.
to kick
No,
this
that's not.
so and so.
No, that's not my first reaction. I get, but that's the typical reaction. Not
Yeah,
my
it's like,
first
what are
reaction.
you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. I'm gonna go
So,
out there, but like, bro, like, what the heck you doing on my porch, man? Like, calm your butt down. Let me hear
and
you
now
out.
let's say they put a bottle.
Oh, well, that's a different thing. And now I'm ducking and dodging, and I'm about to make my way to your face.
So at that point, you have no interest in having a conversation. Is we gonna make it do what it do?
But see, what you just said though, what you just said is exactly them. They are the bottle throwers. We are out there literally talking. We don't even have weapons on us. At least it's not visible. If they do have it on us,
Right.
me personally, I suggest you have one on you. I ain't saying have it out, conceal it, because if one run up on you, then there you go. But whether you got the weapon on you is not visible, and you're talking. You're making the attempt to talk. They come
Mm-hmm.
out in full assault. They come out in SWAT team gears just for a conversation. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not talking. They're not trying to talk. They're not trying to hear what you got to say. They just want you to do what they said do. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do what they said do, you're going to get dealt with.
Yep.
And to
But
me,
that's with anything in life, though.
but I don't see how it's with anything with life, because I don't. Well, I think that's with anything with life when it's dealing with white and anybody else that's not white. I see that, yeah, what you saying, yeah, I see that with anything with life with that. But everything else, like me and you, we're here having a conversation. We having
Mm-hmm.
some disagreements, but we're conversating, and
Right.
there's no issues, no issues whatsoever. Even with a disagreement, there's no issue. But
Right.
they can't see that. They can't hear that. Only thing they hear is, oh snap, that's a gun. We talking to them, but only thing they hear is, that's a gun.
Right.
Only thing they hear is, that's a machete. Only thing they hear is, that's some type of weapon. But again, we're here talking to you, and yet you're the one holding all the weapons.
So let me ask you a question, and this is a question I ask quite often, and this is not defending one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's that they're just a crappy human being, or that it's the office that they hold?
Oh yes, the first one. And I
My
say,
theory
go ahead.
is that we have had a bunch of crappy human beings hired in the offices they should have never held.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these human beings would have been the same way. That's just like all these people, all of a sudden, these videos that I'm seeing surfacing on Facebook with these crappy human beings who have no office being crappy human beings, yelling and screaming at people for them just doing their job. It was a video of one of our vanilla sisters out there. Some of our chocolate brethren was out there cutting the grass, and she just cut up on them something different. And I was like, did she not take any of her mans this year?
This year.
This year. Forget today. She missing like a year's supply. And all I could think of is she's a horrible human being. And no matter what she did in her life before her age that she is now, because she was an older woman, whatever she did in her life before now, she was a crappy human being doing that job. She's just a crappy human being. And so what happened, I think, is that we allowed a bunch of crappy human beings to hold a power that they were not emotionally structured to hold.
You know what? This is why I say it's the first one you said. They're crappy human beings, and they got jack to do with the office because it was crappy human beings that actually built the freaking office.
Mm-hmm.
They built this structure to be what the structure is. They had all intentions for something malicious to go down in the future of this structure because, for one, they built loopholes. Loopholes are intentionally built for deception.
Right.
So you are a crappy human being that's holding power in the office. The office has the power to do what we deem civil and moral right people to do and change all this stuff. But since crappy human beings built the office and the structure of all the office, then
they know how to run it.
Yes, they do. Like presidential election for one. This is one of the biggest BS's of loopholes of all. Now, governor, mayor, council, city, all that stuff. Okay, your votes, go ahead and vote. When it comes to the presidential election, for some reason, nobody votes count. Yeah, technically, we're left with the illusion that our votes don't count. But I've done some research, and I talked about it in past episodes, that it turns out we were all right to assume that our votes really don't count when it comes to at least the presidential election. They have a third party that once you put in the voting slip inside the machine, that's not the end of it. There's a third party behind the scenes that has to officially place that vote. Their job description is, yes, place that vote. But they're not obligated to place that vote for whom you place the vote for. Now, this college BS that we have, it doesn't make a difference if 5,000 people vote for whoever, but as long as 2 of those college vote, those 5,000 people is just negated now. That makes absolutely zero sense, no matter how you put it.
That's absolutely true.
But again,
it's true.
Yeah, so if you go do a little, people, listeners, you go do your own research. I always advocate read. Go do your own research. I could be saying some off the wall junk. I could have taken the information that I took different from how you took it. But I'm saying, go read it for yourself. There are people behind the scenes of your vote that is obligated to place that vote that you place, but not obligated to place the vote for whom you voted for. What's the inanimate object in America that always talks?
That always talks?
The inanimate object in America or globally that always talks. Money. Money talks. Money talks. It doesn't. Money. That was on our first episode of Actual Stupid Sayings, and it was the very last one. Money can't buy happiness. That's a freaking lie. Money buys happiness.
That's a lie. Money. Let me tell you something. I'm happier when I got it.
Yes,
that's a lie.
Yes, money buys happiness and everything else. Literally, the only thing is only one thing that the money cannot buy, and that's genuine emotion. That's the only thing money can't buy. Genuine emotion. So? Okay, if you pay this person to act like they love you, that's not genuine emotion. No matter how fulfilling they are. What's that movie? Halle Berry, who is it? A rich man's wife. She loved the heck out of him. At least as she acted that way, didn't she? She showed enough.
I didn't see that movie.
Okay, well, anywhere I go, just take an actor for example. That actor is acting all those emotions for how much millions? Money cannot. Money. The only thing money can't buy is genuine emotion. It literally buys everything else in the world. Literally everything else in the world.
Disagree. Because
Okay, what
when I'm
else money
sad,
can't buy? What else money can't buy?
it can't extend your life.
Yeah, it can. How many
No,
people?
no, it can't. Because it's a
How
bunch of
many?
dead rich people. It's a bunch of
True,
dead rich ones.
true. There are a bunch of dead rich people, but with the way science is now, money can most definitely it can't grant you immortality, but it can most
Okay,
definitely grant you an extended life period.
maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Immortality. But the
That right.
happiness thing, I think it could. Because,
Yeah, I said happiness and everything else. It buys happiness and everything else. It just can't buy genuine emotion. And by that being said, that's where your votes are going. Trump is getting this election again.
You think so?
Trump won both elections before he ever became president. The moment he
Yeah,
stated,
yeah.
I can go out, mow down X amount of people, come back and become president, and he didn't get arrested for threatening literally everybody in the audience, he won president both elections.
So, and I'm not saying that he could go one way or the other. My hope is that he will not.
We all hope.
On so many levels.
I don't care about Biden either. Biden sucked as much as Trump.
Yeah, I'm not.
Racist.
I'm not exactly a Biden fan. I was a Bernie person. But at this stage, it's like, do you pick, diarrhea or hemorrhoids? So
It's always a third.
You got to
choice.
pick a side.
It's always a third choice, though. A lot of people say, yeah. Well, when it comes to politics, period, no matter who you win, whether it be Democrat, Republican, individual, anybody else up under individual, you still voting for liars. Also, on top of that, you still voting for white people to take control of what they're going to do with black people. No matter what you do with this presidential election, they give the illusion that the president is the most powerful man in the world. But
no, he's not.
Yes, but answer this. How come the most powerful man in the world got a boss?
He's not the most powerful. And this goes back to reading. This is something that you've probably seen on my Facebook page that I say quite often. I need you people to read a book. I need you to stop depending on Fox 2 and channel 4 and 7 for information. I need people to stop doing that. And here's why. There is so much that happens behind the scenes that is open to us as people, that because we don't know, we don't participate. I had a conversation.
We participate.
With my
we just
mom.
dumb with it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we participate.
Yeah, it is.
We just dumb with it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my mom, and at that time they were doing some work in her neighborhood, and she was like, "Well, how can they just do this?" I said, "Because don't nobody go to city council meetings and listen to what they're saying they finna do." I said, "Every time they meet on Tuesdays, I believe it is, I said, ain't nobody in that room. Y'all just let them do whatever they want to, and then after the fact, next year when they start doing it, then everybody got an attitude. Well, you didn't go see what was going on with your community, so somebody that you elected to sit there when you didn't feel like coming made a decision on your life." And I think a lot of people don't understand the gravity of when you elect a person, what you're doing is you're saying, you make a decision for my life and my future because I can't be there.
Yep. That's what I just said.
And we take elections so lightly. We don't look at the candidates. We don't know their names. We voting for people because we remember my mama said their name or my uncle said something.
Yep.
We don't turn the ballot over, and let's just forget the president and all the rest of them. The people who actually have a hands-on approach to your life are those judges on the back.
Oh my goodness, yes, I've been doing a lot of reading.
What happens to Pookie and them if they get pulled over at a traffic stop, if they go to jail, or if they have some mercy and let them say, "Look, just pay the ticket and get on out my courtroom." Those people make the decision, and nobody reads about these people. Nobody knows their names. You don't know their name till you end up in front of them.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with our community is we take things too lightly. We don't take anything seriously. We're so reactive and we're not proactive. We don't take the front lead and say, look here, get ahead of this ball before it rolls us over. We stand back, watch the ball rolling, and go, gee, that's a nice ball. Oh, that's nice.
That ball
and then
got
when
some
it
days
plows
on
us,
it. That ball
it's
sitting
got
on
weight on it.
20s.
And then when it plows us, then we scream and go, why didn't somebody help me? Fool, you was standing there for 2 hours watching the ball finna run you over. Move. Dig a ditch.
Yep.
Throw some rocks.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I preach being a jack of all knowledge versus a jack of all trades. You know, they both make you money. You just got to figure out how it works for you. But me personally, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm just saying, and I've been saying this for a while, I just read. One cat go tell me, well, something, because you like reading. I'm like, actually, I really don't like reading, but the field that I like to be in requires me to read a lot, so I do it.
Let me tell you something about that one. Let me tell you something. This funny to me. So people say they don't like reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the number one source of information that people are glued to all day long?
Some type of literature.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
They'll read that little screen all day long, on the toilet, in the shower. They even made a little Ziploc bag you can put in your shower so you can read Facebook.
Yep.
Your laptop, computer. You can't get your mail because she's looking at Facebook while she's living the route. You can't go in the store because they pulling their phone out to check to see a text message or something. So it's not people don't like reading because we like to read foolishness. It's the fact that I believe people don't want to be held accountable. And when you get knowledge, you're accountable for your actions.
Oh, yeah, that's honestly, that's literally one of the top 3 things that's wrong with the world, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably number 2, but nobody wants to take ownership of anything. Mm-hmm. You barely want to take ownership of your own creations.
Absolutely.
So that's the key to getting to the number 1. Is like you must take ownership. Because when you take ownership, that shows that you are actually aware. And now that we know that you're aware, you are afraid of being held accountable for what you are aware of.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the top 3 things of the planet. Nobody wants to take ownership of anything. I'm telling you, take ownership. Your life will be so much more peaceful.
It will change.
It sounds
dramatically.
Strange. Yeah, it sounds strange to say ownership equals peace. It does sound strange out loud, but here's another thing that nobody's doing alongside of that top 3. It's probably in the top 5. You're not trying anything. You're literally doing the same exact thing you've been doing for years, over and over, and you are afraid.
And it didn't work for anybody else. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and you are afraid. You are afraid to try something different because you are afraid of the next thing. Failure. For some reason, society gets you brainwashed into believing that failure is the end of everything. What failure does, failure helps you with that ownership.
I tell people often when talking to them or when counseling or just having conversations. One of the biggest cancers in the mind of a human being is complacency. We are in a dispensation of where we teach our children that being second is okay. We teach our kids that, so what, you didn't win the game, you get a trophy anyway. Why?
No, you suck. Okay, you're not getting my freaking trophy.
Why? You didn't even get off the bench. Why are you getting the trophy? Go sit down.
Exactly. Technically, you didn't participate, so you can't get this participation trophy if you sit on the bench the whole time.
Mm-hmm. So, what you have now is a generation of people who we thought were entitled before, but now is, why do I have to try? You should just give it to me. Well, why? You didn't. No. When talking to people, you can kind of gauge where the conversation is going.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're talking to a person, you go, hey, what's your money doing for you? And they'll look at you with that look on their eye like, huh? You're like, oh, okay, here we go. And when you kind of ask them, well, what are you doing? What steps are you taking? What risk are you taking? What risk are you willing to take? And then they start giving you a bunch of excuses.
Oh my!
And you're like, no.
These excuses.
This don't have nothing to do with that. What are you doing? What are you getting ready to do? Well, they didn't. Nope. I don't want to hear why they didn't. This has nothing to do with it. And it almost sometimes takes hours to get a person to admit, dang, I didn't do this, and this is why I'm here. So what in society we have done is we've allowed people to build false buildings in their mind that have no foundation. And then when it comes crashing down, we look perplexed. Well, any building, when they were building my house, I watched them for the foundation of the house took months longer than the house itself, because they had to dig, they had to make sure that the ground was settled, they had to put down that whatever that stuff is, then they had to put all these steps just for the foundation. Now the top of the house, they slapped that together like a Lego set. It was like slap, boom, gone. It's done. But the foundation took forever. And they will walk through it and just keep looking at it. The problem with our society is we have no foundation.
Nope.
We have children who are raised off mental cupcakes and mental Twinkies.
Inherent thought process.
Yeah. And when was the last time you were out in public and heard somebody tell their child, you're going to be this when you grow up, other than a negative aspect? When was the last time you heard somebody say, well, you know what? We don't like how the world is going right now, but you were born to make it better. When was the last time?
Well,
Instead,
I haven't said it in public, but I tell my little man, like, dude, only you can make you a success.
But you tell him, these children that you have growing up now are little MFers, are little sons of so-and-sos.
Freaking jerks out the world.
Just all kind of, they're being told all the negative parts. And whenever something goes wrong, they're given excuses. And so they grow up. So now what you have fast forwarding is you have a political situation of where before you can point the finger to somebody else, you got to look at what you did. You got to give some account to yourself, because all of this,
own it.
Yeah, you got to own it. You got to, I tell anybody that knows me, I'm telling myself first. I'm going to snitch on myself because I don't want nobody else to have that kind of power over me. But I work in an industry of where people make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse and never, ever take ownership of what they're doing.
You a politician?
No. Well, no. So I told you that's after I retired. We talk all about that.
Yeah, I know. I was just joking.
So, you work in an industry where you watch people literally throw their lives away. And I want to say something else, but I know some people that I listen to that's gonna listen, they ain't ready for that side of and yet.
No. See, that's where you messing up. That's where you can't come on whatever talk. You can't come on whatever
we know
talk
about your business
and be afraid to say something.
Listen, we know about Matt, and I still got a business to run, so work with me.
All right, I'll let you slide.
Okay, yeah, I still got a business. But look, one day we'll just one time, and we'll have a conversation. Just give me a minute. So you got people out here who have no accountability, and I'm gonna tie this all together. I promise. No accountability, make excuses, blame everybody else, and then they're on a picket line
because it's a trend. That's why.
Because somebody else told them that's what they should do.
Because somebody else told them what they have to do. Also, more so than anything else, everybody else doing it, so I got to be part of this trend.
This movement.
Because that's all. That's, in my opinion, that's what this whole protest really is. Especially, again, you can say this is the racist card all you want, but again, that's all. That's literally all the freaking world has is this race card, because that's exactly what the world is showing. But this is a trend. The people that's joining, majority, I ain't gonna say majority of the white folks, but a lot of the white folks that's in this, it's just a trend to them. Why? Because they keep saying, I'm sorry. I'm just now seeing. All right.
And this
because
is why.
they're the ones that's causing majority of the havoc in these protests and riots, but yet we're the ones that's still coming out dead after this.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. So when I was in the fight for, and I don't know if you remember, if you followed, or if you remember following for me when I was fighting for our homes. So we were fighting for our homes, Gresham and Dougal homes, 18 homes over here on the east side of Detroit that were built from the ground up, and pretty much it was a big old fraudulent deal. And when I tell you, every person of our color that we went to for help, that we went to try to get them to defend us, to try to stand with us, they laughed at us and said they wouldn't do it. I even had people so far as go, well, shoot, if that's all it takes to get a house, then I might as well go out here and do it too. And it was my vanilla brothers and sisters who took the fight on as their own, and who at times were willing to go to jail for us or on our behalf, when it was our own chocolate brothers and sisters who didn't even want nothing to do with it. We had little petition sheets to sign, and they wouldn't even so much as sign it. Mm-hmm. It was our vanilla brothers and sisters who stood up and was like, oh, heck no. Have you lost your mind? You can't do this to these people.
Yeah, so, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's what, again, what I do, which, again, I'm looking for ways. Again, I said this whole conversation thing, we all got to practice it and all that stuff, because nobody, literally.
I'm having the ball.
Oh, no. I'm talking about in general. Nobody know how to talk to one another, period. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a small percentile of you and I that actually can conversate with disagreements and still have a lovely day. But you're right. I'm still working on it. It's all takes practice. I'm looking for other ways. I'm lumping white people in a general pot, like white people lump black people in a general pot of niggas.
I just lump the ain't crap people with the ain't crap people. Yeah. And then everybody else go on the other side.
Well, the only reason I just said it like that, because again, I can't single out all the whites that are on our side, and I can't single out all the whites that's not on our side. But but I also read a lot, and I do take a lot from history. And going off history, a lot of white people that's on our side are sleeper agents. You know, I'm just going off the history of white. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going off the history of white. They'll be down for us, but when they get down for us, oh well, you know what, my friend, this is where I cut my ties. You know,
I haven't come across it. Now, don't get me wrong. I have had some vanilla encounters where you be like, ooh, Satan lives in your basement, don't he? Because they just evil rotten to the core. I mean, I done seen apples with worms, and they came out better than some of these people I have met. But I will say, I think at this stage in the game, you and again, that goes into where these people placed on the playing board, because you also have some young people who are just looking for an excuse to make a mess.
Yeah. That's them, though. That's their young people, though. That's their young people.
You got people, because, I've always had the complaint, well, nobody wants to be a part of Detroit until they want to come down here and party and get high. And then you want to come down here and tear up everything, and you want to go back to your community, and then you want to look back at us and talk about us and tell us about our crime rate. And a prime example of that is whenever they have the Tigers baseball game, all of our suburban brothers and sisters come down here and trash the city, and then they drive back across 8 Mile and say we ain't stuff blankety blank city. and they dog us. When it was you that came down here and you that left beer all over the place, it was you that left your paper everywhere. It was you that was rude and wouldn't let people out the parking structure. It was you who came down here and laid all over the place and peed up against the wall. It was you who came down here and smoked cigars and left the butts all over the ground. It was you. We don't watch baseball. That's not our thing.
We don't watch baseball.
We don't pay attention to it. I mean, we may watch it, but what y'all do, I promise you, last year, midsummer, when I came, downtown smelled like a cross between vomit and beer after a Tigers game.
Like you said.
And all I could do, it pissed me off to no end because I said, y'all come down here time after time, you trash our city, and you go back across the 8 Mile and you talk about it.
Yeah.
You dog.
You're right. But hey, on we're on the other page of what I say. I do say a lot of things in the world as far as Black movement and Black success, as far as getting those people out of the Underground Railroad and other changes in the world. It wouldn't have happened without white
people. If it wasn't for them.
It wouldn't. So again, I can't single out all of them that do and don't. So that's why I just lumped them all in the general pop. But I don't feel wholeheartedly like that. But I let the show get ahead of me. We have went on for an extremely long time. But hey,
I'm sorry, I was having fun.
No. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I do it that way because I like conversation. I like talking to people, especially if they're open-minded about the whole entire conversation and don't just have a completely set mindset on something. You know,
right.
You may have a mindset, but hopefully you're able to get some insight as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
we can grow.
Yeah. So I conversations like that, it just I let it run on forever, and I can literally go on for another 2 more hours. But
party.
But I have to actually go cut my parents' grass. I want to touch on another thing real quick, then we go close out, is that when you said those judges, you know, those are the ones that we really got to look out for when it comes to this voting and all this stuff. I've been doing some reading on some law as well. And whew, boy, like I said, going back to your question about, do you think it's the devilish people? I know that's not the word you use, but I can't remember the word you use. But devilish people,
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, jacked up people in the brain or mind versus the office. It's the jacked up people that created the office. And my goodness, I don't think a lot of people realize that lawyers and judges have a lot to do with why the law is the law. It's not lawmakers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not the lawmakers. The lawmakers is probably just signing off on it to make it a law. But it's the lawyers and judges that say this is going down like this.
Yep. Next, if you ever in court, to your listeners, if they ever have to go to court, pay attention to how the attorneys and the judges play around.
Mm-hmm.
How is an attorney that's either for you or against you going to give you a fair shake if they're friends with the judge?
Yep.
They're not going to fight somebody they're friends with.
Well, they not, most definitely. They again, we can't play along at all for any reason. They play along to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're against each other. They might not like each other, but hey, they both like that money. So they, again, black folks, boy, I don't know what to tell you. Like, don't post another picture of freaking Chad, okay? Stop posting. Go out there and do something and play with other black people.
Wait a minute. I said enjoying the pictures.
No, I'm not saying it like that.
It's some pretty pictures.
I'm not saying it like that. But I'm just saying, like, nobody cared about Black Panther, or my bad, Chad, if he wasn't in that Black Panther suit, or until he died. So again,
I just told my mother that earlier. Can we start praising people while they're alive? Why you gotta wait till they're dead to be all in their corner? Can you please?
Exactly. And watch 5 years from now, he gonna get the humanitarian
The honorary
award.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Exactly. I'm like, this guy, what he's gonna do with this award now? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's why
He needed it a month ago, some years ago.
yeah. So that's what I mean by that. I ain't even saying like forget about the man, because again, a lot of you cats acting like y'all knew the guy personally.
Yeah.
Good night with that one as well. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it does suck that another person has died, and yes, it really suck that another person of our community has died. But at the same time, I don't know the cat. I bet you would give him a high five, ask for a picture, and then you would be ready to fight the cat later on, because that's how black
Yeah.
people work.
I don't know. I've seen some things that they say he's a pretty cool cat. He was very humble.
No. I ain't saying he. I said you. I'm saying that's how black people work. That's because we just can't get along with each other. We just can't get along with each other.
He wasn't all that nice. No way. He had on a brown suit with a tan tongue.
Exactly. So that's what I mean by stop posting the Chad Boseman. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Pictures, and actually go play with other black folks. Actually go conversate with other black folks. Actually go conspire things to in existence.
How about that?
There you go.
Be
So
the next one.
That's what I mean by that type of stuff. So thanks again for listening to Whatever Talk Food. This has been a long recording, but hey, I'm gonna have to start doing this stuff live now, because we're starting. This is like my second or third recording with some awesome conversation that's went on for well over the time frame that I be trying to go shoot for. So, but again, I like that, and we didn't even touch on the main subject that I wanted to talk about here. But again, I also love that too about Whatever Talk, is that I only have this agenda here just for bullet points. And I actually love going off the agenda when it comes to conversation, because that's what it's all about when it comes to Whatever Talk. We talk about whatever, and whatever leads to whatever it is going to lead to. You know, that's good conversation right there. None of us, we didn't get heated. We didn't start arguing. We just said, hey, I disagree with that because blah, blah, blah. Cool. All right. Move on to the next one. You know, that's conversation. Now, if the rest of the world can get down with that, we probably can dissipate some of this racism and hate.
Yep.
That being said,
we can just have a conversation.
Yep. That being said, thanks again for listening to Whatever Talk. You can catch us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, the home of Whatever Talk, Anchor. Go listen to it. The summer home of Whatever Talk, Podomatic. Go there, listen to it. We on various other podcast apps. If you having the issue finding Whatever Talk, Google is your best friend, because we are the first search engine that Google requests, or not requests, but put out there. So that's awesome. And thanks again for coming on as my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Give your shout outs.
Woohoo! My shout out is to you. You did my book cover. Shout out to my daughter. That's my backbone, my son, and all my people who support me, and all the people that follow me, and just listen to this little chocolate girl have an opinion. I'm appreciative.
Awesome. And that's what it is. We're not trying to get nobody to convert over to our side, but we are aware that when we start talking, we may, just may, gain some followers. That's the side effect of talking.
That's all right. We like it.
I want to give a shout out to the listeners. Thanks for listening. You guys are awesome. Post up some comments. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to post up comments. Don't be afraid to bring up something new. Don't be afraid to say anything. This is not just me talking to whoever I have on. This is a universal conversation. Join. You can join in by going You can join in by going to Whatever Talk podcast group on Facebook, and you can start from there, or you could just leave a comment on wherever it is that you're listening to it at. That would be awesome. And yes, every single one of your comments will get answered. I never promise. I don't even promise my kids stuff, so I'm not going to promise you anything. But
like we're gonna work on it.
Exactly. But I would like to say, I guarantee.
I guarantee.
I guarantee. Give a shout out to my family, my wife and kids. Me love you. And the Whatever Talk crew, Simply Cal. Until the next episode of Whatever Talk, whatever.
If you would have made it this far, but then you made it to the end of the show, you can stay posted, but we gotta go. But wait a minute, leave a comment, tell us what you think about it. Come again, tell a friend, tell whoever listening. Whatever talk.